Oh, hello. Welcome to today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings of everything important since the dawn of time. Today is April 26th, as it will be all day. And on this day, in 1886, Ma Rainey was born, blues singer, who I feel like has finally gotten her due in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom that came out this year. Fantastic early jazz blues singer who deserves to be listened to on her birthday. I think it's up for some awards. I've never been a big fan of award shows. It just feels like a popularity contest. Who cares? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is great. See it if you can. Yeah. Something else you should see if you could, which you can't, is the original Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney Sr., released on this day, 1925. This is really interesting because there's a really long story to this. The short version is the movie was first cut in 1925. It was screen tested to an audience who felt like either they felt or the studio didn't believe in it well enough to just then listen to the audience who felt like it was too scary. So they cut a whole bunch of new scenes that were like comic relief, and they had a series of different shady scenes that they like opted for like the less intense versions. But there was a whole version of this 1925 movie that is lost today, basically. Even though it's a movie that still exists, and you think lost Lon Chaney movies, you're immediately going to go like London After Midnight. But the original Phantom of the Opera was lost. And to make matters worse, it was re-released in 1930 with Sinks. I think he was dead by this point, or maybe he was on death's door. So they shot a whole bunch of new scenes, not with him in it, but just like more comic relief and like all talking content, and then released it again. And that would have had sound discs, like they had like early sync sound was actually on like records. So like the projectionist would have to cue up the film, and then like the audio wasn't like on the side of the film at the time. It was literally on like a record that for whatever reason spun from the inside out instead of from the outside in, and he'd have to like cue it up so that way it worked. And that's the version of Phantom of the Opera that survives today, which was although what doesn't survive are those sound discs. So you have like what was supposed to be sound, then with like intertitles put in to like fix it as best you can. Yeah, but like the original Phantom of the Opera, which was like an out-and-out horror movie and considered like too difficult for audiences at the time, is a lost movie. And it's available to read in this book here, which collects like the script and like, you know, pieces it together of like what was supposed to be, like, you know, what you could have seen. Yeah, this is by Philip J. Riley, who I believe had help from Forey Ackerman. Magic Image Film Books. I think this is still in print. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, it's a fantastically flawed movie in that the director and Chaney didn't get along, and it's, you know, all these like, you know, if only this had worked out better, if only that had worked out better, this could have been like it's still a fantastic movie, but it's connected to a series of these what if questions of like, you know, if the dynamic between him had been, if the dynamic on the set had been better, would this have resulted in a better movie? Like if Chaney had more control over what the end result would be, rather than it being like a clearly like executives just making decisions and doing these screen tests and just having an audience say like, all right, yeah, it should be funnier. Like, this is not what it's supposed to be. Yeah. So there you go. That's it. The whole day. April 26th. From me to you. Till tomorrow. Goodbye.